All right, let's get started with this fantasy movers. Hall of Fame games coming up. Let's hope they do show a lot of the game and not so much of that talking they always do. I like preseason games. First up, we've got Barkley moving down one spot and Gibbs moving up a spot. All right, Barkley, great year last year, of course. And, finished first, 2,000 yards. And then Gibbs, of course, they got him ranked second now. Finished third last year. So they're swapping these two around a little bit. You can see Barkley, they're moving down. But after that great year last year, made no real changes here. Will Shipley's still going to be the backup there. So that's hey, 482 touches last year, and you're not going to repeat. But hey, 14th schedule. I don't see this move here. They got Gibbs moving up to 2. Of course, he's got company in town. Morton suggests that hey, he's going to try to use Gibbs and Montgomery on the field at the same time, right? Well, that's part of the issue here too. Is we're worried about Dan Campbell still there, but Ben Johnson, the big offensive coordinator, moves on to the Bears. So, what are we going to get there? So Gibbs. Hey, that's part of it is the David Montgomery, right? You look at his year year last year, where those last 4 games is what propelled him up with Montgomery missing. And David Montgomery's just not going to go away here. They've got him ranked 20th, finished 18th. And number 2 team offense last year. If that comes down a little bit because of Ben Johnson leaving, I don't know that this is the time to be moving Gibbs ahead of Barkley. So I don't agree with that one. Let's move on to the next one. How about, of course, Marion Hampton's moving up 3 spots. They got him up to 17th now, right? Well, deal there is, hey, and the good news is Marion Hampton's going to get a little action in the Hall of Fame game, right? We look forward to that, to see what we're getting here at the 17th ranking now. All right, Najee's moving all the way down to the 39th. Hey, I said that he'd have to move down for him to get, but you can see moving him down. 32nd started out, now he's down to 39 with this eye injury. Jim Harbaugh says they acknowledge that no timetable on his return to practice. Non-football injury with that eye injury, so they move him down 4 spots. How about in Houston? Some movement going on. Joe Mixon down 10 spots. Right? Dropped to 27th. Well, of course, the news there is Mixon is expected to face an extended absence and be reevaluated closer to the season with that ankle injury. So they go out and bring in Nick Chubb, right? Nick Chubb from Cleveland didn't have the best year last year. 46th, finished 55th. He's ranked 40th. They moved him up to 46 now. So in the rankings, you can see here, hey, obviously this is news related. We look at their team, Nick Chubb, good thing they brought him in here, because if Joe Mixon's going to miss some time, right? Woody Marks is available. Of course, Darrell from last year. I don't know, we're going to take a look on this. Woody Marks, the rookie brought in, willing to run between the tackles and exceptional at carrying the ball. We know that Nick Chubb, if he does start as week 1, doesn't receive much. We'll just have to keep an eye on if it's going to be Woody Marks or this Dar Mbangwe in there to see who's going to be the starter there. But, hey, I look at it as a positive for C.J. Stroud with that number 2 position schedule, right? Easy, going to come back. Hey, he's got him ranked 21st. Heck, he finished 17th last year. Got some new weapons. I don't know, this Joe Mixon might play more into the quarterback, getting a little better there. How about Dallas? The big news is Jaden Blue. They're moving him down, right? Some negative comments came out that he was borderline lazy, wasn't doing too much on off-season workouts. Excuse me. And then a beat reporter said, hey, great first week. Blue's been a standout the first week of camp. Silenced some of the doubters, maybe. Well, they still got him ranked. Moved him down 7 spots to 56th. Of course, in a corresponding move, they moved Javonte Williams up, right? Williams taking the majority of first-team reps at practice. Going to be America's team's number one running back, possibly. If he's got that number one slot, they got him ranked 32nd. He finished 32nd. Middle of the road schedule there, so we'll keep an eye on how those move as we continue. How about in Cleveland? Of course, the news on Judkins, right? So he keeps moving down. They got him down to 41st now. Just not sure of the. I told him to stay home. Personal conduct problems. But anyway, okay. And in another move, they moved Jerome Ford right up the scale here. He finished 37th last year. Well, they finished 37th. They got him at 45th. And what's kind of funny, you see they're moving him up. But he pretty well takes on the same role he had last year. So when the Chubb was going to be out hurt early, we knew that Ford was going to be the guy. Didn't really take it and run with it. So they brought in a couple running backs, of course. But this Dylan Sampson's still on the radar here. They moved him a little bit up 2 spots. It looks like to 54 now. Hey, good player, rookie. The good thing they took 2 in the draft, huh? So we'll have to keep an eye on this, but they're moving Judkins way down because of it. And looks like we're going to have an empty spot there and figure out who we're going to get there at the running back for Cleveland. How about the quarterback here? Got Joe Flacco, right? Going to take that job now, it looks like, because we've got an injury here too. Kenny Pickett, mild hamstring injury, going to miss some time. So it's looking more and more like it's going to be Joe Flacco starting day one. And so they move him up spot. He's now ranked 31st. Moving him up. All right, let's move on to the Jacksonville running backs. Had struggle going back and forth. Tank Bigsby moves up to 36th now. And do they move? They move. Travis Etienne back down a little bit. So these two down 6 spots for Etienne. Now he's ranked 38th. Finished 38th last year. And Tank Bigsby finished 31st. They already got moved him up to 36th here. So the news there, of course, is Tank Bigsby once again looked like the focal point at running back in this is training camp. Travis Etienne getting some extended 2-minute drill. Now remember, new coach Cohen comes in, used 2 running backs at Tampa last year. We got a new head coach, was with the Bucs last year. So we're going to be trying to figure out who he thinks is going to be the number one. Cohen did praise Travis Etienne. This is when he moved up, and now they moved him back down. But his ability to the screen game, handle sweeps, vision in the running game. And remember that Bigsby has just 8 catches in 2 NFL seasons. So are they setting up that Travis Etienne's going to be the 3rd down back? And this is, of course, on the heels of them taking this rookie, Tootin. Tootin's not been doing so great here. Fumbling in practice, and hey, that's not good. So they might have moved him down a little bit. All right, let's move on to the next one. Keep this rolling. How about Rome Odunze? All right. Number 1 first round receiver last year brought in. Kind of, maybe a little disappointing. Has the number 3rd easy schedule, but they moved him up to 37th now. Keep creeping him up. And, of course, Luther Burton's moving down a little bit, who figures missing more time. He did practice finally on Monday. But missing time with that soft tissue issue, getting behind a little bit, right? Well, DJ Moore's, they still got ranked 20th and be their top one. But Rome Odunze's getting some good praising from the head coach, provided Odunze gets one-on-one matchups. He's going to win those matchups, slant routes. They talk going on about his talent, Ben Johnson. So he's been moving up a little bit in the rankings. He might be a steal there, though. 3rd easy schedule. Hey, we'll keep an eye on him, though. But they're moving rank now. The consensus rankers are moving him up. We'll have to see here. All right, Jordan Mason moves up 6 spots. Right? And Jordan Addison moves up 3 spots. So a little love towards Minnesota here. Well, you can see he's moving up from 39th to 31st. The other day I did a show that said, hey, something's got to give. They were underranking the Minnesota running backs, and apparently they listened because they moved up Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones here stays pretty much at 26 the last couple weeks. You know, hey, he finished 16th in fantasy last year. All right. So, one constant over O'Connell's tenure is that the running back, top one, gets at least 2/3 of the team's snaps. So, are we going to go away from that with Jordan? He said that he visions Jordan Mason as a compliment to Aaron Jones earlier in the season. So, Jordan Mason. So, we're wondering here, hey, Aaron Jones, I'm going to be the biggest cheerleader of Mason. I'm used to splitting snaps. And when you split snap, it raises both guys. So it comes back to how much this spread's going to be. Maybe we'll get a little hint in preseason games and that. But Mason's going to get some action. But, hey, so is Aaron Jones. And, hey, this team was 6th in passing. And if Aaron Jones is the receiving back, that leans a little bit more towards him. We'll see how that finishes out, but they're moving them around a little bit up, moving Mason up a little bit. How about George Pickens moving up 6 spots? Do you agree with that? Up to the 26th spot, right, in Dallas. All right, C.D. Lamb was ranked 2nd, and they've got George Pickens now up to 26th. Hey, they were the 11th team in passing. Dak comes back with that 32nd schedule. 30th position schedules for the receivers over here. I don't really like it, so I think they're way too high on Pickens right now. And Chris Godwin gets moved down 8 spots. So, well, Bucks reporter, no guarantees of his week 1 status. Will not participate in team drills to start. Hey, he's coming back from this big injury. I mean, we'll have to see. And, of course, this comes on the heels of Ibuka, right? They took him. They got him up to 49th. But Baker said, hey, Ibuka's the real deal, can plug and play at any of the 3 receiver spots, right? Well, he might be needed at Chris Godwin's spot early. Matter of fact, Chris Godwin ranked 4th on the team right now. But we'll see how healthy he is coming up. All right, moving up now. How about Kyler Murray? They move him up 2 spots. I don't like it. I was hoping to get him cheap. They got him up to 12th. I loved him at 14. Still like him at 12. All right. Well, he finished 9th last year. All right. And they say he's going to, the more time removed from the ACL, the better Murray feels. He thinks, now I feel like I'm back to where I was and plans to run more. Well, 572 yards rushing last year, 5 touchdowns, a little more on that. Heck, he will boom him up from the 9th. And he's got the number 3 schedule. I'm still all over Kyler Murray, one of my top 10 running backs. They moved him up to 12th. I think he need to go higher. Marvin Jones moves up 2 spots. Looking good in practice. Delivered a daily dose of highlights. Bigger, stronger, faster version. We'll see how he does. So they're moving him up. I hope you're not getting him too high. 18th schedule there. Murray has the number 3 easy schedule. I like that. All right, how the world turns in Indy. We got Anthony Richardson moving up 2 spots. Possibly Richardson showing plenty of promise, especially over the last few training camps, giving coach and staff confidence that he might win the starting gig. They're going to split reps. That was the plan from the beginning. And Daniel Jones is moving down a little spot. And he was projected to win it with that shoulder injury, but Anthony Richardson's back in there and playing now in training camp, so we'll see. Of course, good for Anthony Richardson if he's the starter. Bad for the receiving core. Hey, Alec Pierce would be the favored receiver if it's Anthony Richardson. Josh down maybe a little bit more if it's Daniel Jones, that dump-off pass over the middle, not taking the deeper shots so much maybe when hitting Josh down. Anyway, we'll see how that works out in. How about a couple more here? We've got Puka Nacua moving him down 2 spots. I thought they had him a little high anyway. So that's probably closer. Hey, he does have a great average. Everything looks good. But, of course, my biggest concern is Devontae Adams moving to town, right? And give it some good there. But they both have an easy schedule. I like them. I've been leaning into more Devontae Adams over Puka just because he's cheaper and great history. And, hey, the one thing I will point out, I said it the other day on Devontae Adams, missed 4 games in the last 4 seasons. Hope I ain't putting the jinx whammy on him, but hey, Puka hasn't been staying healthy all the time. All right, one more. Stephon Diggs moves up. Diggs is getting comfortable there, right, in New England. Looking healthy, right? The surprise there that he's healthy. No physical restrictions on Diggs during training camps. Looking good, like the number 1 receiver there. So they moved him up 9 spots, up to 41st. They might have further to go. Although, we remember that they were the 32nd team in passing last year. So let's hope that gets a little better there. And one last one is this Ariel. Of course, Fant was released. Opens up more opportunity. Big size, rookie, 2nd rounder. Seattle going to be their tight end. I don't know. They got him ranked 19th, so he's not a big concern early on here. So, all right, let's take a look at this. All right, it's that time. I need to fill my shorts. Get a short, make a short out of this. Warning, this is a rapid repeat. All right, Fantasy AI, looking at some rank movers. Anthony Richardson moving up 2 spots to 24th. Might have that top quarterback job there in Indy. George Pickens moves up 6 spots in Dallas at wide receiver. That's just way too high for me. Chris Godwin moving down 8 spots. Not going to be ready for the beginning of training camp or season. Going to reevaluate it. Tank Bigsby moves up 4 spots. Him and ETN battling him back and forth for that number 1 job. How about Marion Hampton moving up 3 spots? Najee Harris, MIA. How about Jordan Mason moving up 6 spots? Him and Aaron Jones going to work out that sharing this year. Nick Chubb moves up 9 spots. They're in Houston. Good thing they got him because Joe Mixon moves down 10 spots because of the injury, right, to the ankle. Going to reevaluate at the beginning of the season. Ariel moves up 10 spots at tight end because Noah Fant retires. And Stephon Diggs is looking like a number 1 there in New England.